Mm. Oh. I have a prevailing belief. I don't exactly share it with everyone, because not everybody can handle it. My prevailing belief goes like this. Did you catch it? I'll do it again. My prevailing belief goes like this. For every man. That's pretty much the answer. For those of you who know. I don't have to say much. I'm one of those men who doesn't say much. It's easier for me. Keeps me clear. Brutal. Some people think I'm brutal. They don't know the half of it. What they consider brutality is formality. It's not the truth. But you and me, we know. We're not going to be hoodwinked. No. See, what I see in you could bring me to my knees. But I am the same. So I'm not overwhelmed. You've got it. When I show you what I mean by this, you get it. Now, a lot of people will condescendingly refer to us as simpletons. They're really the simpletons, they don't know it. A simpleton has many guises. Lots of facades. The simpleton that vexes me the most is the simpleton that hides behind complexity, hides inside complexity, hides beneath complexity. Someone who uses complexity for subterfuge, burying the important with meaningless nuance. You know the people. Together, they're an army. An insignificant army that is unfortunately too significant to ignore. These people, here's how they walk. They're dopey. They don't walk like you and me. They swagger to and fro, bending in the wind, in the breeze, like reeds on a stream. Because they do not know what is important. They are a psyop. Cyclop. No. Oh. Nobody. Where are you? Nobody. Nobody, come out. Come out and confront me. Nobody. Come out. That was the Cyclops. Cannot remember his name. Before that Cyclops met you, Odysseus, that Cyclops walked like this. Just like you and me walk. But after, Odysseus stuck a stake in the Cyclops' eyes. Well, the Cyclops couldn't help but move to and fro, swaggering like a reed in the breeze, like a reed in the stream. Nobody. Nobody stuck a stake in my eye. Let us find him and eat him. That's what the simplistic meta-intellectuals sound like today. They cannot see, and they're enjoining all their fellow intellectuals, the Cyclopeans, to come hither, gather around me, and let's find the people who matter, and let's bury them with our swagger. They walk like chimpanzees, you know? These Cyclops who cannot see. But today, these immortal demigods, children of Zeus, still abide with one eye. They have their own island, and on that island, those who are blind swagger, and those who can see with their one eye walk forward like this. And that great Cyclops, who was blinded by Odysseus, still lives today, still looks for me. The one who's not buried by complexity. I'm happy to have survived, to have returned home to my wife, to have survived as a child of the gods who walks through the halls of memory and time like a giant. Let me review it for you. My enemy is the blind Cyclops. The blind Cyclops, the chimpanzee in his library of meaningless nuance, reads all the books that don't matter and tries to convince me, Odysseus, Me, the one who's traveled throughout the Mediterranean, battled with Scylla and Charybdis and Circe, visited the underworld, tries to convince me to see the world as a blind monster sees the world. See, the blind monster, the Cyclops, is only about conquering the world with his club and with his might. The other Cyclops just try to rein him in compassionately, as brothers would. They have a fraternity on their island. And every year I return to the island for sport, and I listen to the blind Cyclops calling out my name. Nobody. Where are you? He's still looking, groping, foraging through the island, looking for me. Nobody. Where are you? He wants to eat me. Odysseus. How could he eat Odysseus? Odysseus walks like this. So the Cyclops, who's all over the place, blind, cannot see anything, cannot catch the man who walks in a straight line. The blind, monstrous intellectual, burying everything with meaningless nuances, he taps the ground with his fingertips, reading the landscape like Braille, hoping for clues and hints of Odysseus, but it's not possible. Nobody. And I've told the other Cyclops, who look at me as if I were a god, and I'm only 1/10 of their size. I'm only 1/10. They look at me inspired. Gentlemen, I say to them, you let us play out this game every year for millennia. Almost 3 millennia now, me and the blind Cyclops. I come to the island. He searches for me. And I explained to them long time ago, the brothers, with their clubs, why I must do this year in and year out. I keep myself sharp. It's not every day out there in the real world that I get to walk so clearly. I have to dodge the swaggering chimpanzees, the progeny of the blinded Cyclops who walk through the cities, who cannot, for the life of them, walk like this. They do their best, but their best is not enough. And do you know what I discovered? That wherever I go, I see nobody. Where are you? He calls me nobody, because 3 millennia ago he asked for my name, and I told him nobody. And so when I escaped from that treacherous island of the Cyclops, and he was holding his punctured eye, his singular eye, now blind, he cried out, "Get him!" And his Cyclopean brother said, "Who?" And he cried out, "Nobody! Get nobody!" And they just thought he was mad. 'Cause why would they get nobody? For many, many years this played out as the blinded Cyclops looked through the land, never able to walk in a straight line, always weaving back and forth like the drunken chimpanzee. And I would continually visit the island to practice my walk. The Cyclopean brothers that kept their eyes were always surprised that I could walk anywhere on the island in a straight line, unperturbed, without deviating from my course. Pure purpose. I could walk through the legs of the blinded Cyclops as he called out my name. "Where are you, nobody? I can smell you. You are close. I can smell you. I haven't smelled you in quite some time. You're at my fingertips. I can feel you. Why don't you let me hold you? I won't harm you. I promise I will not harm you." Of course, he's lying. If he holds me in his hands, he'll crush me and eat me. He's hungry, but he's vengeful. I'm not Odysseus for nothing. So what I want to do is I want to train these Cyclops. They're thousands of years old. I want to train them so that they understand what is important, because the drunken chimpanzees of society have forgotten long ago, and they're just ignorant, blind, arrogant, imbecilic, asinine. But Cyclops, they're used to only having one eye. They don't take it for granted. If they lose one eye, they're done. A blinded Cyclops is pathetic. A blinded Cyclops is consumed by rage and revenge, with meaningless nuance as he runs his fingertips across the braille of the ground. He's no different from the drunken chimpanzees of society. None of them know how to walk in a straight line. I have been walking in a straight line for 3,000 years. People think that I'm oppressing myself, that I have no imagination, that I'm too geometric, that Euclid is passé. No. You want all this freedom, this openness, this tolerance of divergence. You don't know how to walk in a straight line. None of you do. For all intents and purposes, nobody has plucked out your eye, and you cannot communicate it to anybody. Where are you? You don't understand who I am, what I say, what I offer, why I am alive. You don't care. You and your kind are going to be walking down the street into that sewer because you are blind. You are convinced to walk into a sewer and get lost forever. But I will tell you where you will end up. You will wash ashore on the Cyclopean island. But you won't have companionship there, because by that time I will have removed all the Cyclops that can see, and you will be with the Cyclops who cannot see, who keeps crying out for me. And of course, you will be angry too. And maybe you will live for thousands of years and you will cry out for me as the one who banished you there, and you'll be wrong. I didn't banish you there. You just followed the stream that washed you away. And you ended up stranded on a beach. I'm resourceful. People think of me like I'm a fox, cunning. No. I'm not especially cunning. It's just that you're lost. And you're blind. And you think you understand. But you're ignorant. And so someone like me seems wily and conniving. But I assure you, I have walked it only this way my entire life. Let me demonstrate it for you again. Every day, I walk in a straight line. Every day, you walk in zigzags and wonder why you're blind. You're not more free just because you deviate. Always deviating. Always thinking that somehow you're special because you subvert and invert, revert and pervert. You're not. You're a Cyclops. Blind, vengeful, resentful, pathetic, pitiful Cyclops. And I wasn't some thief who came for your cattle just because. I was wandering through the Mediterranean for decades. Me and my men were hungry. We needed food. But when I saw you, I knew that I'd have to be resourceful. You would have outwitted us with your complexity. You would have charmed us into believing your meaningless nuance. I'd finally had enough. No one walks like me. I teach people how to walk. The time for swaggering is over. That time for blindness has come to an end. Mythology has yielded to reality. Courage to freedom. Walk in a straight line with me. And stop thinking that just because you zigzag, you're creative.